under a sky heavy with rain, in the rugged, windswept hills of ancient Judah. A mother groaned through her pain, clutching her newborn son, her face streaked with sweat, her eyes filled with both anguish and awe. She whispered a name birthed in sorrow, sealed with pain. Jabez. That single word carried the weight of her labor, her grief, and an unspoken story. In the Hebrew tongue, Jabez meant sorrow, pain, and distress. But little did she know, this name, born of suffering, would one day become a banner of transformation and faith. Jabez was born into the tribe of Judah, a tribe known for kingship, worship, and warfare. But these were not glorious times. Israel was in crisis. Surrounded by enemies, plagued by internal conflict, the people were weary. Hope was fading. In this environment of unrest, Jabez grew up, marked by his name, overshadowed by his past. In biblical times, names weren't just labels. They were prophetic. They defined you. They shaped how others saw you and how you saw yourself. So imagine growing up with a name that meant pain, being introduced as, "Oh, this is Jabez." His name means sorrow, a constant reminder of suffering. Yet, Scripture tells us something remarkable. Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. In a world weighed down by darkness, Jabez chose light. While others may have turned bitter, he chose righteousness. While some blended into the backdrop of despair, he stood out, not by wealth, not by title, but by character. One day, Jabez did something that would change everything. He cried out to the God of Israel, not in bitterness, not in desperation, but in faith. He prayed, "Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain." Jabez asked for 4 things, each revealing the posture of his heart. 1. Bless me indeed. This wasn't about riches or luxury. Jabez desired God's favor, his presence, his guidance, his provision. He wanted a life that bore the mark of God's touch. 2. Enlarge my territory. This meant more than land. He was asking for greater responsibility, broader influence, deeper impact. Jabez longed to do more for God. He wanted to expand, spiritually, relationally, and perhaps even geographically. 3. That your hand would be with me. This speaks of divine partnership. Jabez knew that success without God is empty. He didn't want to go anywhere God wouldn't go with him. 4. Keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain. This was personal. He carried the name sorrow, but he didn't want to pass on pain. He asked God to rewrite his story, to break the cycle of generational sorrow. So, God granted him what he requested. That's it. No long explanation, no conditions, no hesitation. God heard Jabez, and he answered. We don't know the exact details. We don't know how his life looked after, but we know this. Jabez's prayer worked. It moved heaven. It changed everything. The Bible gives us no further details about Jabez's life. No mention of his family, children, career, or death. But maybe that's the point. His story isn't about what he did. It's about who he became. He became a man of blessing, a man who broke free from pain, a man who walked with God's hand upon his life. He is a symbol of spiritual transformation, proof that even those born in sorrow can rise to live a life of significance. The story of Jabez shows us that our past does not define our future. God listens to sincere, humble prayers. We can ask boldly, without shame. We can live beyond the labels placed on us. So whatever your story, whatever your struggle, pray like Jabez. Thanks for watching this amazing story of Jabez. And remember, no matter your name, your past, or your pain, God can still write a beautiful story through your life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful Bible stories. Until next time, be prayerful and trust in God's plan for your life.